right, here we go. All right, we have Juliet, Joey, and Austin here. All right, so here's what's really awesome. Joey, last time on the last call, he introduced at the end. He's like, "Hey, let's just between all of us have a little mini hackathon," and so we did. And it sounds like Joey's coming in hard. Juliet has
with like 5 different little.
So we got 5. Oh
did
man!
You make anything, Jeff?
I did. I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of made something in the last hour.
Yeah. I mean, I made some. One of them I made in a few minutes. So it's like
coming in hot. You know? And I'm still trying to get it to work. But I feel like it's a really good what it is.
Prototype, so, yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm not 5 with Joey, but I'm willing to learn what you got, Joey.
We'll let Juliet go first because she said that she's on a time limit.
Yeah, I gotta jump off a little early today, but I'll be on the phone.
That's my
so I'd rather show mine while I'm, here at the computer.
All right.
All right.
What up, Austin? How you doing, man?
Man, it's been a hectic morning.
Yeah, life is hectic sometimes.
Michigan weather doesn't know what it wants to do, and it's messing with my sinuses. And
I just went to the sinus doctor, and they're gonna do a CT scan and allergy testing and all that fun stuff. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Let's do entire screen. That seems easier. All right. Can you see my screen?
We can.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the first one I made. It's just a little
nice.
Kid Fit adventure. You've entered the jungle of jumps. Complete the challenge to move forward.
Love it.
So the kids have to do their 10 jumping jacks.
Yeah, that's good.
Then they hit complete. And then they run in place for 30 seconds.
I love it.
It gets points. And then they earned like a bronze medal.
Do 5 push-ups? Oh, that's so cool.
Do 5 push-ups. Then touch your toes 15 times.
That's so cool.
And they earned the silver medal. And now they have to do a plank for 20 seconds. And then they got the gold medal. And then at the bottom it says, congratulations, you've completed all challenges, become the fittest kid in town. And then down there's a fun fact down here. Planking is one of the best exercises for strengthening your core muscles.
That's great.
So it's like a fitness learning game, I guess.
That is amazing.
I talked to a friend of mine, and she was like, whatever you're doing, she was like, make sure you give the kids awards because that's what they want is like, for completing the challenge, and you did it.
So that was like the game I made. So the other one I made wasn't exactly a game per se. It was exactly what I was talking about like last time, where back in the day, my company built this kindness tracker to track acts of kindness in the classroom. They gave it away to all the schools. They built it on the Salesforce platform. So it was just like Salesforce licensing costs and all those expensive things. So I was like, hey, I bet I could build my own. So I'm gonna need to like enhance it more because I need to build like a back-end database to hold the data, because every time you like open it again, it basically like loses the data at this point. But I built a random acts of kindness tracker. So they go down here, you register the school. So I'll do like Kip, Texas, and make a username and a password, and then they register. School registered successfully. Okay. Now I go log in here. And they log in.
Look at you. You built a login.
So then they could add, first they add the classrooms in here and like the grade. And once they have all the classrooms in, this is like the initial setup, then they could do one of two things. They can either have the teachers log in with the main login and go to their school or their grade, their class, and enter how many acts of kindness they recorded for that day or that week or whatever. Or they could just like have them like tally it up and then have like one main person at the school or something, add in the acts of kindness. And so yeah, and then down here, and it'll keep like a running total. There's like a ranking board, and they could have like whoever wins in that grade. If there's multiple classes that are grade, or whoever wins in the whole school could win like an ice cream party or something. But then I also have down here download tracker form. So if the teachers wanted to have some sort of manual way to like mark off.
That's so cute.
That is. I love it.
So, Juliet, did you know that you could make it to where, so let's say you wanted to go put this on your own domain, you could make it to where everything is local. And, I mean, for just to get MVP out, if you ever wanted to go put this out there, you could make it to where everything is local and they can create their own logins, or you can do it to where they don't even have to have a login.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know. I didn't want to do it because I made it for a login because I thought, well, it would be kind of cool to just be able to track like multiple schools across the country or whatever,
right?
And have like a total
cool.
leaderboard, like for like all of them,
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you guys think?
That is really cool.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
I like it. It's really cool.
I think it's so cool that you built the login. The login actually works. Like phenomenal. And then it displays a new dashboard on the inside. Like, Juliet, you're a programmer. Like that's a full-blown software. I'm impressed. I am so impressed.
So that's what I've been doing. And then I was starting to build a sales funnel, trying to do that, but I haven't got very far on that yet.
Okay, well, Joey got 5. I feel like I kind of want to jump in front of you, Joey.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, because I don't feel mine is nearly as 5. It's not 5, you know.
You only need one good one.
I just need one.
Yeah, I know. I think
so
I have a winner. I think I have one winner.
That's what's up. All right. Austin, do you have anything that you want to show that you want to build education games? Okay.
No,
all right, here's
I got off early that day. I'm sorry.
We're no worries. All right, so here's what I built.
This is just a fun competition, so it's no big deal.
So here's what I built is I built the Homer Tutor. All right, so I basically, my daughter, she has online schooling, and so I don't really get to help her much, right? Nobody, like, who gets to help her? So I was trying to figure out a way how I could actually make something practical. I was going to gamify it, but I just couldn't get past the ask additional questions to actually make it work to gamify it. So right now it's not fun, but it's trying to be helpful, right? So here's what you could do is you could come here. Right now, you could upload an image and basically you can submit this. Right? It's really terrible hand. Let me just see. So I'll just go to so I'll just say high school math problem. And oh my God. You guys are gonna all right, I'm just gonna do one with image.
Make a typing game for yourself.
Hey. All right. All right. So what I'll do is I'll just grab this. All right, what number is the equivalent to this? I absolutely do not know if any of this is what the answer is. So that might be a little tough one. Is it 2? Is it 2, Joey?
I think so.
All right. That's really cool if you know that answer because I do not. All right. So here we go to this choose file, and I can go here into my documents, and then I could just analyze problem. This is going to analyze it. It's going to analyze it with Anthropic, the latest AI, analyze the image, and then it's going to basically give me a tutor. Like, I tried to ask it just to give me the answer, but it's interesting. It said that would be cheating, right? So I had to ask it to say, be a tutor to guide me through the steps of creating it. So it says, okay, let's break down this problem step by step to find which the giving is equivalent
to. Where was this in high school for me when I was taking pre-cal?
All right, so let's just make sure the problem is this, right? So that is the problem. Okay, so we have 2, 9, 81, and 700. All right, so here's the thing. So it basically popped in. It read the image, okay, and it says step 1, simplify.
You're wrong, Joey.
I am.
Okay, so it says the correct answer is 9. All right, so.
Oh my gosh.
Either Joey's right or the AI is right. I am not.
No, I believe the AI is right now that I'm thinking about it.
I actually don't know to double check this. So the disclaimer with my children would be like, this is the best guess is what I got. Try to follow
you
it.
Need
but
to check your answers, and it could be wrong.
Check your answer, but I feel
you
like
could fail your math class.
You could fail it horrifically.
That's your disclaimer.
So, however, I mean, if you're going through this and you're like, okay, like simplify this, and if that's the steps that you know you need to do, rewrite this, and then
Dude, my daughter could use it so much. She needs this.
This is so useful, Jeff.
And so that was just kind of the thing. The next thing I want to do is ask any follow-up questions. So it'll send in the original result and then spit out like, hey, like, how did you do that? Simplifying. Why do I do step 3? You know what I mean? Like, so
as I went up in math through school, and they teach it differently in other countries. Like they make you master like the math concepts before you can move on to the next. But that isn't necessarily the case here, right? In the States, right? So by the time you get to the higher maths, if there's components of the lower maths that you didn't really understand, you're getting more screwed as you go.
So bad.
So, this would be so helpful to learn those parts that I might not have learned or mastered, you know?
You're exactly right. My daughter, I think, could really benefit from something like this.
Yeah. So basically what I did to connect this is I just connected it to Anthropic. So basically how I built it is if you go into Anthropic is just like ChatGPT, right? All I did was here is the vision, and then it submits an image. So I basically said, connect to this API, make me a website helper with it, you know, and then where I could upload an image, and then boom, it did. And then now we're here. And so it was pretty easy to build. It took a few seconds, but at least
it's a useful tool, Jeff. It's useful. Now you can start a tutoring website.
Totally. You know,
we can come up with enough educational tools to make a website.
100%.
You guys want to know something crazy?
Kind of.
No? So you don't want to know it?
I'm just joking.
Okay. So one of the first tools I ever started was or ever built was are you guys familiar with Udemy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I built a site like Udemy. It was called Course Expo, and it had a bunch of different courses. Had like a tool to build out courses and whatnot. That's just popped up in my brain. You guys were talking about education, and I actually made a couple $100 off of it until someone was like, yeah, you can't use Expo in it. I was like, oh, okay. So I just took down the site. I didn't even worry about renaming it and rebranding it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Joey. All right. So what do you guys think? Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super useful. Super useful.
So, man, like hopefully you can share that with me so I can share with my daughter.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Joey,
so
you're up.
All right, so mine. Now I don't feel like mine is as good anymore.
Mine was just helpful, man.
Okay.
There's different versions of good. His is a helpful one.
Yeah.
So you made 5, Joey?
Yes.
Wow.
So check this out. You can be a brave adventurer, a seasoned voyager, a master navigator, a legendary pathfinder. Let's just start easy. And in the desert oasis, you find 9 golden coins and 1 silver coins. This is like for the beginners, right?
Nice.
So you can pull up the magic scroll, and it tells you to solve the puzzle, how to do it. So anyway, yeah, you can keep going on, and it just this is a one. It just keeps giving you a series of, but you could get crazy with it being a legendary pathfinders. And you find 31 golden coins and 39 silver coins. Oh, I guess that one ain't that hard. But yeah, you guys see how this works.
It's hard for some people.
Oh, yeah, I mean, some people have a hard time with word problems versus.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
What?
So there's that one.
You know what would be so cool in that, Joey, is if you had a shop and you could buy stuff with your treasure, like, and then you could buy little badges or little things, you know, and or buy the scrolls, you know.
Build your avatar.
Yeah, build your avatar. Oh, what? Build your avatar. Do you know how fun that would be? And you can
add a little hat,
like little patches
glasses,
for your eye.
binoculars.
That's a really cool one, Joey.
Okay, so this,
this is cool.
This one is like I want
These
to
are very visually appealing, as you notice.
I want to teach the kids decision making and critical thinking skills because they don't, you know, it's like for
yeah.
I'm anxious to see how my daughter would answer it. Like not necessarily this one, but like you're navigating downtown, which route will you take? Blah blah blah. If you make the right decision, it takes you to the next question. If not, it'll tell you why you made the wrong decision. As you walk along the main street, a friendly taxi driver offers you a ride. How do you proceed? Accept it. Oh, okay. Dang it.
Let's do the wrong thing.
All right, well, let's do the wrong thing on this one that's funnier. This is the
funnier.
This is the critical thinking one. This one's for more like adults, or not adults, but teenagers. And so you're at a party and someone offers you drugs. What do you do?
Take the drugs if you're dead.
Take the drugs. All of them.
Politely decline and stick to your principles.
Person of the authorities.
Incorrect.
I guess that works too.
Incorrect. It's a responsible choice. Okay, get.
I mean, I kind of like. Oh, you know what would be a good one? Kind of in relation to this and laws. It's like, how do kids learn what the laws are? You know, like.
Oh, a driver ed exam.
Not even just driver, just like you're not supposed to like stay out after curfew and the reasons why, you know, just everything. Like the laws that people do. They don't teach you freaking laws in school. Where do you learn that shit?
No, they don't. I will tell you that right now. Being how old am I? 23 years old. They do not teach you that type of stuff.
If you punch somebody in the face, like what are the consequences? You know? Like, you're gonna probably could go get arrested for assault. Like, you go to jail for this long. Like,
so after this one, like I'm anxious just to like watch my daughter fill this out to see what, you know, just even
a lot of this has a lot of that in this, Joey. A lot of the like, what's gonna happen if you do it wrong.
Yeah, and then this one This one's about learning how to read a 20 because it was supposed to be educational stuff.
Oh,
you know.
Nice. This is good too.
And then it gives them an example. Then they have to convert the time to a 24-hour format.
This is awesome.
So, and then my friend who I was talking to while I was making this, she works at the pool, and I was like, how could I make this for the pool? So I'm like, oh, I can just ultimate
pool safety challenge.
Yeah,
you have to complete the pool safety challenge before, and then you sign a waiver, and then you're in.
Yeah, yeah.
Boom.
So yeah, just was a bunch of series of those type of games.
Yeah,
But
with the child.
I love that you gamified a pool safety challenge.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. So it's just I don't know. I mean, I felt like the one that turned out the best as far as visually was this one was the most
Yeah,
visual.
I like that one visually, and then you could add, like we were saying, where you could use the coins to buy something.
Yeah. So
Like my son used to play this one game on his tablet. It was a monkey game. I forget what it's called now. But they would win like these little stickers, and then he would pick which one he wanted and put it in his like little vault.
that was fun.
Dude, that was awesome. That was so fun. I'm not gonna lie, that was more fun than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
I was actually nervous, thinking that I was like, I'm not gonna be able to show up with something, and that, you know, and
No, yours is super useful.
Yeah, I
so fun.
personally see yours being the most helpful for my daughter.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because she struggles with math, and that broke it down step by step by step.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. Oh well, actually, I don't know how to make this. I think what I could do is give you guys the script, the PHP script, so you guys could actually use this. So I use two things. I use a PHP. Does you guys have a server yet? Anybody have a cPanel server yet? Awesome.
Yeah, I haven't. I think so, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I'll let you know once I get my back end the database going.
Cool. Well, Juliet, here's what's cool: is the cPanel server has a database. You can now store stuff in a database.
Yeah.
Do you know how to use all that stuff?
Yeah.
Dang, Juliet, you're like going to be ahead of me in a few minutes. Like, this is going to be crazy. Like, so in
Been
the
a while,
meantime,
but yes.
all right, that is awesome. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, so in the meantime, your homework is to get a domain and a cPanel. All right, a server. Okay, Joey, on Namecheap, it's $17.76, right? $17.76, right, for a server for a whole year. All right, so for a domain and a server, you're in like $35 total. Okay, like for a whole year. All right, literally the cheapest server possible. If you get the higher ones, I don't even know how to use the higher end servers yet. Like, just get a super
one that has that shared hosting and all that. Yeah,
shared hosting. Here's what's cool: it has bandwidth. I literally was looking at my bandwidth. It says unlimited bandwidth.
Yeah.
Well, if you know that, that means some of these scripts we could run, and we could run unlimited amount of times with no cost to our server. Like, it's just unlimited. Like, we could run this.
You know what I was thinking? So I've always had trouble with my DJ videos. I can't like host them on YouTube. They get taken down because of like copyright, and Twitch is doing the same shit now. I wonder if there's a way for me to just build like my own little video hosting player. I can just upload the video files to the server.
I literally, so here's inside the chat, right? Did anyone use the chat during this time at all, the entire time? Perfect, right? So inside the chat, ask it how to do that. Tell it you have a cPanel server.
That's the best feature.
Tell it you have a cPanel server, and this is what I'm trying to do: connect my front end to the back end, and then it will do it. It's like, and a lot of times, like if it tells, like I literally have it just tell me how to add the PHP script to my file server.
Yeah.
So the reason,
basically, I'm gonna have to have like a database that holds the user logins, and then I'll have that connected to then the classrooms and the acts and that, and then so that's I can already kind of picture it. I mean, I've created databases before using Access, so I have a little more experience. That is so cool.
Julia, I just want to let you know, when you figure that out, like that's right where I am right now. I have not yet figured out how to validate and log in, and like I've got it to where I could save my data to the MySQL database, but I haven't got it where I like could log in yet and then retrieve my data and validate it, and then I have a login. So what you've created, you're like phenomenally closer. Like, so it's going to be amazing. As soon as you get that, please show me, because what's going to happen. So here, the direction that I'm going is we're going to have what's called a code vault. All right. And I already have a couple people that continue to buy the website scraper, right? It's the website scraper script. So that means literally it's a script that they could call infinite amount of times from their own website server, and it never costs them a dime. And all it is a Python script that the AI wrote. I'm selling it for $300, $400. Like, if they want me to help them set it up, a couple extra $100 more, right? So, and it's literally like me just sending them a Python file. It's like sending you a text message, and I'm selling that for $400, $300. And so
I gotta switch to my phone and go.
Okay. So you guys having the cPanel server is going to make it where I could easily transfer you entire softwares. The entire thing. All of that stuff. So like if I was to transfer you this website helper, I am actually using, so let me show you. Okay. So if I go to right here, the entire screen, I'm actually using a cPanel server. And this is calling, if we look at this code right here, this code is calling my cPanel server. So you see right here where it says conf fetch http group MyAiTeam.com ant2 PHP. Ant2, if I go to this file location, group.myAiTeam.com /ant2, right? If I go to this, we'll just look at this. All right, right here. All of these, a cPanel is just a giant place for folders, right? Right, Juliet's back. Woohoo! All right. A cPanel is just a giant place for folders, right? So I literally create subdomains on my domain now, and this is just a folder group. So if I click group, well, look at all this. These are all my scripts that the AI has been writing for me. Literally. Anything that says PHP or Python is like a behind. I code up APIs now with this thing. So this is what I started doing on the internet in the very beginning of my software career, is trying to figure out how to do this. Yeah.
There's something that you can do. If let's say you ever wanted to bring it full circle, and you wanted to basically make it to where people are using these tools like a software. What you could do is there's a file you could get built or put together. Just talk to AI about it, and it'll write it for you. So you know how when you go to a website, so let's say we go to MyAiTeam /group. You know how there isn't a .html or the file name? What you could do is, let's say you wanted to go to MyAiTeam /chat. Instead of having the chat.php, you could have it to where it's just chat. And like that, just to make it look cleaner and professional, and all that fun stuff. I mean, just a little bit of knowledge that I wanted to share with you guys.
Nice. Yeah. So here's what happens, right? So when I press this little like call analyze problem for the Homer tutor, it's going to call this domain, this script, right? So literally it calls this script right here, which is a PHP script. Well, then that PHP script sends it behind the scenes, and it calls this right here, this PHP script. Well, that PHP script now calls my AI behind the scenes. So then I don't ever expose my API key to the public. I don't ever use that. Like, it does the heavy lifting stuff behind the scenes. So if you ever want to merge video or do audio or make a video editor, right, or something like that, that's what is all behind here. Now we could build software that does so much more. Your front end, which is what is built in MyAiTeam. Now, if you ever want to create a PHP script, well, now you click this little chat and you say, create me a login, right? Create me a PHP login for this, right? And then it's going to reference your code on the page and build your PHP script based off of your requirements of your already created code. Okay. One of the next things that I was thinking about adding is a little like option right here, because here's the thing. All right. So there's 2 updates that are huge this last week. If you guys didn't know, remember how like there used to be this code limit of only 400 lines of code? Do you guys remember me talking about that?
Yeah.
That now has doubled.
More than doubled.
More than doubled. You can now code up past 900 lines of code without having to say keep going. Like on the output, right? So
hey, what's this thing where everyone's complaining about ChatGPT lately, that it's putting out horrible data?
Oh yeah, ChatGPT sucks. I don't use ChatGPT anymore. Like I use Anthropic 3.5 Sonnet. I have no loyalty to companies. I find the absolute best one to get my job done. Like for right now, these guys, they're as far as that like AI source, Anthropic has destroyed OpenAI with the latest model that they put. I can now say 10x this code, and if I ever said that with GPT-4, it would like make it like maybe a couple tiny small edits. When I say 10x,
it'll change the font.
Yeah, it'll change the font. Now when I say 10x the code with Anthropic, the entire thing is different. Like I could literally say, make this 10x more valuable, right? I'm just going to always make this 10 times more valuable. I'm just going to always use that. So then I don't embarrass myself. All right. All right. So yeah. So literally like it completely updates it entirely versus the GPT-4. It's completely insane. So I will always add the best AI into MyAiTeam at all times, like no matter what. Like, yeah. So I definitely want you guys to start having a server, and then basically that server gives you guys the ability to basically have these more in-depth tools. Here's what the cPanel server looks like. Okay. Now here's what's really cool. When you have a cPanel server, this is what it's going to give you the ability to do. For $35, you're going to get a domain and a cPanel server. Okay. Literally, you're going to be able to install WordPress on your website. WordPress. Okay. Probably 70% of the internet's built on WordPress. Okay. Inside, you're going to be able to do the file managers, just like what we're doing, where you're going to be able to upload your scripts and files and all these cool things. You're also going to be able to create emails, because you're going to need to have emails in the future, right? Like you're going to be able to send follow-ups and all that stuff. Have all this set up, okay? Databases also in here. This is like when somebody says, hey, I need a full stack developer. You guys now, the moment you start doing this and adding your first script to the back end, you are literally a full script stack developer. The moment Juliet connects her PHP dashboard into the front end, Juliet is officially a full stack developer. You know that, right, Juliet? Like you connected front end to back end. That's,
I guess.
that's a full stack development right there. Like 100% on your own server. This is seen as more value than somebody building on somebody else's platform. This is what they mean. Like, do you own the code? This is what owning the code means. The ability to take a script and add it to any server at all that you own, and connect it to any database that you own. Okay. So this is when you're talking about software that you own. If you want to get a job at a high-end like software development firm and they're actually building like enterprise level software, they're going to be building in something like this. They might have some really fancy tools, but nonetheless the core is going to be something like this. You build a front end, you connect it to a database, and it looks like this. Okay. So you learning this is, I mean, phenomenal, Juliet. I love that you've already have experience with this, because I don't. And so you being a few steps ahead of me, I'm so excited. I'm going to have to step it up to try to get on your level. So I understand what you mean, so I'm impressed.
I mean, I would suggest having your chat like give you some structured like how to design databases and like kind of give you some ideas around that. That might be helpful.
That's a really good idea.
Hey Jeff.
Yeah.
So the homework helper you made, you said that you used a different AI to enhance something inside of MyAiTeam?
No. So you guys don't know this behind the scenes, right? So you see how I just typed in advanced homework helper. Well, now I can analyze it, generate practice quiz, show visual explanation. That's cool, right? I don't know what all the like. All right, but behind the scenes, right now, what she was talking about a few minutes ago. If you guys go to OpenAI, has been the big man on the block for a while. They were the best AI in town. Lately, it doesn't seem to be the best. However, basically, there's another AI that I use that basically the code, you guys didn't know, but in the last probably 3 weeks or 2 weeks, I updated the coding model, right? That's why it could make so much better software. That now you're not going back and forth with small edits and trying to get it to change little tiny things. It just works. 90% of the time, it works first time that you ask it. Because I use not ChatGPT 4, because that has an API. You could build anytime you could connect your homework into, I could have built this on ChatGPT. I could have literally went to ChatGPT 4, got the API, and then I could have built it on here. However, I decided to use what I believe is 10 times better right now, as of July 18th, 2024. Literally in 2 hours, it could change. OpenAI could release ChatGPT 5, and it's better than Anthropic. And guess what? Behind the scenes, you would never know that MyAiTeam updated it because I only keep the best in here. Always. There's no even option to switch to the worst ones. I don't even give you that option because I know they're worse. Right? Like if I dramatically see it better, I add it in here. However, Anthropic 3.5 Sonnet is literally 10 times better than GPT 4.0 right now. 10 times.
It's gold.
For coding.
Okay. I copied that, but you were saying when you made the software that you went to Anthropic to do something. What did tell me the process there? Like you built something out in the snippet builder, and then did you take that code to Anthropic and ask it to change it, or?
Yeah. Watch, right? So I'll just start a new one really fast, right? So we can always fork it, and then I'll just restart. So here's what's really cool, right? Anytime you want to add a function into your software that you haven't like created a sense, right? So here's what I could do is if I want to connect to Anthropic, which is an AI, I could go to their website, right? If I type in anthropic.com, right, /API, all right, I could go to this website and it says start building, and then you need to sign up and you need to add 5, 10, 20 bucks, okay? And that makes it where you have an active API key. And then you go to developer docs. Before, you used to have to study these developer docs to figure out how to connect their tool, their API, into your software, okay? Well, when I say software, I mean your snippet, okay? That means here. So now watch this. If I come back over here, I could go in here and I could say, here's a vision, right? Well, vision is one of their build with Claude. It says vision. That means this is their instructions on how to connect to their vision. All right, so here's all the instructions. Here's the aspect ratio. Here's how much it costs per image, right? Here's ensuring the quality. Here's prompt examples. And then down here is the code, right? So to utilize making a request, you could provide images as a base 64 encoded image, all of this stuff. This to me is like dang near Chinese. Do you agree? Like,
yeah,
I don't know what this says, right? But here's the instructions in code on how to connect this. So here's how you do it now. You copy and you come over to here and you say, create me a dashboard, right? So I can analyze analyze images with this API. And then I'm going to paste the API information. All right. Give me a place to add my API key and password. Protect it. Protect it. All right. Now watch this. All right. And then I'm going to hit generate. And now what it's going to do, that took that entire document, right? Of the entire now what we're doing is we're giving our software a brain. It's like if you wanted to make that game infinite, where the little code game where it like makes it all those questions, right? Look, I don't know why it says dashboard password. Right now it has this image analyst. So what is this dashboard password? Let's relook at this. Why is it giving me a dashboard password? Let's just not have that, right? So, all right, we could password protect our API key. What is this? Why would we have image dashboard password? Get rid of the password for the dashboard and make it so the user can call this API and analyze their image. Super easy. Paste. All right. So yeah, I'm going to say 90% it gets right on the first time. Okay, 90. There's always room for improvement, right? And so essentially, like, it will have an update. Once you're doing this, now you'll get your API key from over here, right? Get API keys. And I could create an API key just for this. Okay, so create key. I'm going to create this new key. I'm going to hit copy. And I'm going to delete this one in a few seconds. And now we could have key. And I could save. Nice. API key saved. Upload our image. And look, we're going to upload an image that we took earlier. All right, analyze image. And it says Anthropic is not defined. Okay. So here's what's really cool. Over time, you're going to start to like, you see how it says Anthropic is not defined? Well, I could right click this and I could say inspect. Well, this gives us the ability to inspect this page and we could see all the type of errors that we got, right? Well, there's no errors over here, but I got an error on here. So I'll put basically Anthropic not defined. So I said, I got this error. These fix. And then I'm just going to paste my error in. All right. And then I'm going to hit generate. I don't even know how I got the error or what it is, but I'm just going to paste it and hopefully it fixes it. This is kind of the process. Inspect, if you hit inspect, that gives you the option to inspect if there's any errors in the behind the scenes console errors. Okay. So copy key. And you could also say save certain information locally so you don't have to keep doing this, which I like doing.
Well, I noticed on your other homework helper, it didn't have the API configuration, did it?
No. So here's what's cool is because I am calling it from my PHP script behind the scenes. So my PHP script has the API key.
Okay, and that's where your logo is stored.
Yeah, so now if I was to go over here into my PHP script, now watch this, right? If I was to click this, so this is a much better way, right? If I was to click this and I would say, now I have my PHP script, right? So I could say, call this API at HTTPS group. Instead of me connecting right to the AI, all I connect to is ant2.php, which is where my script is. And then I paste in my script. And now what it's going to do, instead of it connecting directly into the AI, I already have a script that does that. My PHP script. And the reason why is on the front end, you don't essentially want your like, the PHP script has the API key already. Ready? Remove it. All right. Cool. All right. So basically now it's going to analyze it, but it's calling my PHP script. So that's why if you guys have if it's on the front end and I hit view code, essentially, if I was to put this HTTP, like this website on somebody else, like on a website, somebody could view my code. Like they could right click and hit inspect. They could view my code just right here, and they could literally see my API key. Well, an API key is like how you get access to my credit accounts. You know what I mean? That's how it charges my account. So you don't want that to get leaked. So a PHP script actually puts it behind the scenes. So now you're calling it to the back end. So it makes it safe. So now if I was to send you this API key or this script, this ant.2.php, all you have to do is switch out your API key, and now instantly you have the same image processing script that I have. And you can connect it to any of your front ends, any of the software that you build. I literally, so here's where I started this advanced math tutoring thing. I actually had somebody that it was a receipt scanner, and it literally scanned their receipt. Well, that was the idea that I had from it. Hey, I just needed to upload it and analyze it and then spit out the results. Well, that's basically what I have here. It just uploads it, analyzes the problem. So having the PHP scripts make it where you could do the back end work now. So your AI is not exposed. I could send you these scripts and I could show you how to connect to them. And now I'm not always just showing you how to connect to these, because you could always reuse your same script and you don't have to paste your API key in there all the time. You could build full-blown software on it based off of that now. And it calls the behind the scenes. So yeah.
Okay. So in short, without all of that stuff, could I make the same thing you made inside the snippet maker without the cPanel, without the PHP, without the API? I could still make the image analyzer inside of there, or would it not be the same?
I'm using an external service to analyze the image, right? So imagine this. I'm taking this image. Whenever I upload this image, okay, and like whenever I upload an image into this, okay, here's what's happening. This is the full process, okay? I'm uploading an image right here, and we're going to have it analyze this one, even though it's not homework, all right? I'm uploading it now. It's literally taking that image, and it's sending it to the PHP script. The PHP script securely takes my API key, and it sends it to Anthropic. It's literally calling this right here, this script right here, and it's saying, whatever's in this image, analyze it and help them with this. Then it's returning that results to the front end in a few seconds. It returns that result from Anthropic. That gives me the ability to do that AI analyze thing. Does that come out right from the gate that you can magically do that? No. You got to connect into that to make it do that.
Okay.
So now you're
doing it. Anthropic is doing it.
Yep. And Anthropic is who I'm using to code up all the snippets.
Okay.
Like literally the same coding thing that codes right here is what I'm using to code snippets.
Okay.
Like, so Anthropic, you connect into Anthropic, well, now you have a homework helper, or you could have a sales copywriter, or you could have a sales page builder, or you could have whatever you so choose. You could literally build it right into this thing. And that could be where it's a full-blown software that you have that access to do that thing. So
okay, I gotcha. It's looking to announce another source to analyze it, and then it gives you the results in the MyAiTeam.
that is correct.
Okay.
Yep. And now that's using the reason why, because it sends that result. They have to do some fancy thing. Now here's what they're doing. You see how if I go into my file manager, you see how I have this crawl.php and I have crawl.py, and then I have scrape.php and scrape.py.
Mm-hmm.
You see that? Check out this. Crawl and scrape your website. This is a website called websitescraperapi.com. Okay. It crawls and scrapes a website. It gathers the data you need when you need it. Crawls your site, gathers each page link, scrapes each page, gets the text, images, and HTML in seconds, connects to any software and API in seconds. Believe it or not, this code was written by AI. I sell this for $27 a month.
Can you do a demo of how the do we don't have access to the one inside MyAiTeam anymore, do we?
The website scraper?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. I have a full website scraper, so check this out. Right? So if I go in here, website, or let's see, scrape. Let's see, scrape. All right, so I built that API. Well, I connected to that API also because I wanted to do different things. Well, one of the things I wanted to do is be able to scrape a website and to be able to gather the text and then rewrite it. Right? So here's a couple of them that I have, right? As soon as this works, super slow. All right, what is this? One of the things I like about custom code, it's definitely way faster for search functionality, all that stuff, man. Like, it's phenomenal. I'm really starting to love custom code. So, all right, so I could type in, let's see, so scrape, all right, scrape and rewrite, scrape and copy with bulk export, right? It's one of my favorites. All right, so check this out, right? I have website scraper. There's step 1, which is scrape and crawl. So if I insert it on a website, I'll insert my wife. I could insert in here and I could max links to crawl. So it's going to return a max of 100 links. Okay, now here's what it does. It crawls every single page to find any internal links for this domain and any subdomains of the main root domain. So if there's any like other like sales funnels attached to it or courses, it crawls it and finds those links like that. Okay, so that's the crawler. This is a script. So here's what this is doing. It's crawling and it's calling this crawl script. You see right here? This crawl right here. It's crawling the PHP script first. Then it sends it to the Python script. PHP is the bridge. What I've learned is almost like the bridge between front end and Python scripts so far, what I've used it for. Okay. So it's the bridge. Okay. So it bridged the gap and it's calling that. And then here's what it does. Now we have a website scraper. Look at it crawled all these pages. Look at all these sub pages that it brought back. Look at that. These are all the pages on my wife's website. All right. The next thing is it's scraping each page for now the content. You see right here where it says scraping? Bam. Now it's scraping each one of those. So here's what it's doing next. It's sending it over here to the scrape.php and the scrape.python scripts. Okay? When you guys get a cPanel server in the next few days, let me know, and I will be giving you guys for free that I could show you guys the Stripe invoices that people have paid over $400 for because you guys keep showing up, and I love you guys for that. You guys get the crawl and the Python and the scrape and the PHP scrape script. 100% free. And I'm going to show you how to set it up. So you can now sell it, use it, put it in your own software, and you have the ability to scrape and crawl websites too.
Yay. And you know what it's useful for, which is if you're trying to sell a product, you can just plug in that product website and create a sales funnel.
Now check
from scraping it.
Yep.
Yeah. One thing
So
that I
look at
was
this.
figuring out how to do was I don't know if we're able to do it yet. I'm working around it. Making it to where we can scrape Google and find all of the different types of SaaS directories like Product Hunt, AppSumo, and then have the scraper basically submit your tool to that tool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. So here's what it did, right? So step 2, you see how there's different steps? Step 1 is step crawl and scrape and crawl. Select 2 is select page to rewrite. So now I could rewrite and I could pick which page. And look, if I select this, check this out. It has the content right here to rewrite, the HTML page, the emails, pulled back my wife's emails, got her, the images, all of the images from that page, other info, so any phone numbers and social links for that page that we found on the entire thing. This is calling the scrape and crawl script. All I'm doing is displaying all the information here. That's it. That's all I did. I'll even give you guys this also inside here. I'll send it over to you in here so you guys have this website scraper in Rewriter. Now check out the Rewriter. Guess what it does? It calls this Anthropic script. So now it's calling the Anthropic. I think I like messed it up, but I have to redo it. But essentially, it rewrites it and calls my Anthropic script to rewrite this content. And so now I could scrape a content and I could add additional instructions. So now if you ever want to merge 2 articles, Juliet, you could scrape news websites and get content from 2 of them, and you could add your own additional information, which might be your, hey, this is who I am, this is what content information, this is how I talk, this is what our company is, and then it rewrites it with the additional instructions. And then now instantly you have all the content. Bam. Juliet, you know what you could do next? You could add a button that says upload to WordPress. And instantly this uploads to WordPress. Scrape, rewrite, and upload to WordPress. And this is a whole software that you could use and sell in seconds for your whole business that you just got hired for a while ago. All in this. So now recently I added another one, export data. All of a sudden, what happens if you want all the content data from this entire site? Well, check out what I could do. I could click URL and I could click content and I could hit export to CSV. And literally, I could even do emails and phone numbers if I wanted. And then it will export all the emails and phone numbers from this entire website that I just called and scraped. And now I have an export data file. Well, why would you want to export data file of your information, such as your URLs and all of your content on your website? When would that ever be useful? Well, now if I go back to Anthropic, right? Handy dandy Anthropic. Okay, you could do this with ChatGPT also. Soon you're going to be able to do this with MyAiTeam, but I'm just letting you know you can even build a software to do this. All right, you could talk to Claude. All right, I have a buddy that I'm going to be helping with soon that's going to have a software that could do this full thing. MyAiTeam should be able to do this, but I'm not going to steal his idea. All right, and then I'm going to upload this documents right here, exported CSV, and I could say, oh, I'm over my limit. Oh, come on. Who owns this, right? But nonetheless, oh, come on. What is this? Conversation over limits. So lame. I literally have to make my CSV shorter on this one. Well, let's just do this. Let me delete like half of this. All right, so if you get the paid version of this, then you don't have to worry about it. You have a little higher like amount. I should have just did that, but all right, so now we have this. Let me try it if it'll work on this. All right, export data. All right, I'm still over it. All right, whatever. All right, nonetheless all right, there you go. Let's try it one more time. So when you have a content like that, you're able to export it into a full file, and then you're able to upload it into other areas. I need to save this as CSV. Boom. All right.
Rain's just coming down here.
All right, so now you guys could go to anything like ChatGPT or this one, and who owns this company and what do you offer, right? And I could hit send, and what it's going to do, it's going to read that data from the site. You could even do the same thing and say, write me a blog post. right? So it says, based on the information you provide in the website content that comes owned and operated by Lauren Caldwell, LC Design Company, branding, logo design, website in a day VIP experience, which is what I've been doing on my day job, and website templates, which is my favorite way to make money on the entire world, is selling code. Okay, so this from here, I could literally say create me 5 blog ideas, right? And then from here, it's going to reference LC Designs Company, 5 essential branding elements every health coach needs to attract their ideal client. That is a fantastic one. Why your website is the most powerful marketing tool. That's a good one. I could literally say now, write me a full blog on this, right? Write me a full blog on this, right? And here's what I like doing, okay? I now take all of this information. If my client has basically like a blog post or anything like this, watch what I could do. So I could take this, and once it's done being generated, and then I'm going to jump off. And so in your guys' homework, okay? Your guys' homework is to make sure you have a cPanel server, all right? It's the cheapest one. It's called a shared server. Buy a domain and a server. That's what you're going to need. All right, so here's what I could do is I could go back into my MyAiTeam, and I could say, create me a snippet. And I could literally say, if you need help structuring blogs or anything or web pages, this is how I build websites now. I could say, create me a blog page for this. And then I paste the whole thing. That's it. This is how I build home pages. This is how I build about pages. This is how I build 90% of my clients' websites now in the first draft. And then I take all this information. I see how it's all broken up. I'm like, okay, that looks really good. I 10x it, make this 10 times more valuable, make this look cooler, right? And then I bring it over into my own into Aspire Builder or put it on my own website. Okay. So this is my like workflow process of how I do websites now, just right here. Like write a blog, put it into here. And it builds it.
All right. Well, I'll get a cPanel set up.
Cool. All right. And then you guys all get that script. And then check out this, like 5 essential branding elements every health coach needs. This now literally helps me set up and structure how I should use this. Like this is a beautiful blog, all beautifully set up now. Like, and I could send this to my wife and say, here's a blog for you, which I'm going to do. Right?
I mean, the part I'm concerned with some of these custom sites is like, well, how easy are they to hack, you know? Because like a WordPress, you're constantly having to update it to protect from vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff I get concerned with making your own custom site, you know?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
not having a platform like that to protect you.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely can connect into other ways, right? So you could, there's always like, instead of like using your own SQL database, if that's like advanced, you could connect into other things that handle authentication. And then they have just an API to handle the authentication part. So there's like Xano, which is one of them that I was going to use. And there's just different databases that we can connect into that aren't just our own, that already have the security and all that other stuff really deep already, you know? And so it really just determines on how far you want. This front end of the website scraper API, right? This whole website, most of the front end and the login and all of that stuff, as far as that's all handled with Bubble. Just the code was written, and the code is what's being called. I had the code written like 6 months ago. The next part for me, once I figure out how to do it, is moving this off of Bubble into my own software. That is my ultimate goal. I'm not there yet, but I would love to, because that saves me what, $29 a month. Hey, right? And I could put this on my own domain, which I already have, and now we can use it, right? So having that server is foundational from here on out. And then I'm going to be able to give you guys code, right? Any of the code that I have, I could code up myself and I could send it to you. And then it's not just the front end code. Now here's what you could do. This is the last thing, and I'll leave you. Inside here, inside MyAiTeam, you have the ability to go to view code and check this out. You could hit download file and it downloads the entire index file, the HTML file that you need to upload to your server instantly. Literally within seconds, you guys could have live sites on your guys' own domain. In seconds. Not minutes, not having to pay anybody else, in seconds, because you guys have your own server. Okay? So having the server is like, to maximize this area, that's gonna be the next step for you guys. So, okay, I love you guys so much. You guys are amazing for participating in that that hackathon. Like,
That was
guys,
fun.
Yeah.
that is really fun. Do you guys want to do another one for next week? And
Yeah.
all right, we have the whole weekend, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I know
here's our
my boyfriend wanted me to help him try to make something for his work. So I was like, well, I'll just sit there with you on the software and we can just play around with it. I don't know that I'm going to know how to do everything he wants it to do. Something about connecting all the different APIs that they have, Salesforce and various softwares. I don't know.
Okay. All right, well, I think that's a great topic. How about we're going to do a work-related tool? Okay,
Good.
a work-related tool. Okay, that's it. Work-related tool. Okay, thank you guys for participating. You guys are fantastic. That was amazing. I love you guys. I will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.